think that's what Pennsylvanians are saying.
Hello, America. This is Scott DeShot. Good evening. I'm not going to drink no more today, so I'm going to take a little hit of weed right here. I am 50 years old. This show is not for children, so don't think less of me.
Now, David Yorston, he's campaigned with you.
All right, then.
A figure that obviously pushes some people away.
Today I want to talk about education right now on this little podcast. You know, how are kids getting out of school? As a senior in high school, they graduated and with a 7th, 8th grade level of reading and arithmetic. I mean, a lot of this stuff you learn in school is just to show up, and it's just. I think it's the most stuff you need to learn in school is basically the math and the arithmetic, and reading and writing. But what do we get? What do we get for our money from these teachers nowadays? I mean, these kids are. I mean, in Illinois, they did a study. They after they tested all the kids there in 100 different schools, 100 schools, high schools, and the average senior was testing at below 8th grade level arithmetic and reading. I mean that's crazy. In a modern society where they got computers everywhere, cell phones in everybody's hands. And what's weird about it is it's getting worse and worse. It seems like in a society where we have so many advantages on how to get smart. I mean, but not just the TV. You learn a lot on TV to watch the right things. You know, with the documentaries, and then you got reading, of course, and then you got your computers that makes it easier. But these kids are getting out of school and they're just dumb. I mean, is that what modern technology is doing for our kids and society as a whole? I mean, with all these advantages they have now, how come these kids are so stupid? Maybe it's too much technology. I mean, like I said, if the power ever goes out, I mean, people got to be smart. You got to be able to add, subtract, the basic fractions, percentages. You got to know how to read and write a letter to somebody if you need help. I mean, how is it that so many kids are graduating? I mean, 100 schools, and there was only like 4 or 5 kids that tested at 12th grade level math and reading. I mean, isn't that crazy? I mean, how's it even possible? I mean, and mind you, the schools are a government entity. You have the school unions and all that, but going to school is the law. You have to go to school up to a certain age for that you drop out. I mean, it's a government entity basically, ran by cities, by just cities, counties, states, and then you got your colleges. I mean, but how is it that they're getting out? I mean, if you ever watch Jesse Waters, he goes to like the spring break over in Florida, and he's going to. These are all college kids. He's walking up these college kids and asking them. They don't even know who Abraham Lincoln is. They don't know who Thomas Jefferson is. I mean, they don't even know who John Wayne is. I mean, come on, people. I mean, how is that possible? But they're in a higher education. I mean, they're in college. They don't even know American history. I mean, they don't know nothing about the Constitution, the First and Second Amendment. They don't know nothing. I mean, that's what we're getting for out of these teachers today that want more money, more pay. I mean, they're such a powerful, voting bloc, but they're all corrupt. What are they teaching our kids except for to go behind our back with this transgender things, putting tampons in boys' bathrooms? I mean, besides that, what are we getting out of it? I mean, now some kids get through it. I mean, but it seems like depending on the state, but 100 different schools in any state, in any area of that state, as far as I'm concerned, is a major failure and a blight on our government for allowing that to happen. I mean, why are these kids not succeeding? If there's that many kids that are failing, I mean, that means these teachers are doing nothing. That means they're actually doing nothing. They're just sitting there all day. What are they doing? What are they doing? If out of 100 schools, if like 10 kids actually get out of 12th grade with 12th grade math and reading, nobody's getting fired. I mean, man, they need to do a sweep of our schools, people. All these teachers, most of them need fired. And the government needs to be gone through and changed with Republicans in office. That's what the Democrats are doing for this country. These are all Democrats. I mean, that's what we get when we're mandated to send our kids to school. Like, because they're supposed to learn certain things. That's why it's the law, right? It's the law they go to school because they have to learn certain things. Well, Why was I always in threat of being in trouble if my kid didn't go to school and didn't conform and all that when they're not learning nothing? I mean, it's mandatory, but they're not learning nothing. When do you get punished? When does the government or the teachers or the schools get punished for not teaching our children? It's always a one-way street with that too. Like I said, this reciprocal thing. Well, it's a mandate in the law that I have to send my kid to school, and I want him to go to school. I want him to learn, but he's not learning. But if I don't make sure he gets there every day until I get in trouble, if he goes and commits some act, that I didn't know about, then now you're gonna put me in jail like they're doing now with these school shootings. What does the parent get out of it besides any kind of natural weirdness like that? I mean, what does a parent get out of sending your kid to school anymore? They're not learning nothing. They're allowed to take their cell phones into class. Come on, people. I mean, I never needed a goddamn phone in high school or junior high. I mean, they have phones at the office. If you really need to make a call, they'll let you use it. These kids are on their phones. I mean, it's all this high-tech stuff, and they're not learning nothing except how to play on that damn high-tech device. I mean, they can look up anything you ask them, but they don't know it. I mean, they don't even know who John Wayne is. Who's Daniel Boone? They don't know. God, they just don't know. I mean, it's weird that they don't know who Abraham Lincoln is. Half these kids, I mean, they don't even know. They don't know who George Washington is. They don't know who Thomas Jefferson is. They don't know nobody. They don't know nothing. Half of them don't even know who Kamala Harris is. I mean, everybody knows Donald Trump because he's the man. Donald Trump. But yeah, so what do we get for our money? And then they charge you these outrageous amounts of money to send your kid to college. And when you're watching the news, your kid's going to Harvard, and you look on the news, you see your kid out there holding a sign that says death to Israel from the river to the sea. And you're like, what the fuck? I mean, I'd be like, I don't care. So, baby, bring me that cell phone. My kid would be snagged out of there so fast. I mean, if they're not studying in school or at a real party, that is it. I mean, if I'm paying for that school, my kid's out of there so fast. No. You can go there, have fun and all that, but sitting there with signs like that's what we're getting for our money, for the mandate of having to send our kids to their schools. I mean, they don't want school choice for half these states. I mean, they don't want that kind of schooling for any. The Democrats don't want school choice for nobody. You know why? Because they want to ruin your kid. They want your kid to be just as dumb as they want him to be, because they're not going to teach nothing in school. If they were, these kids would be getting out of school with at 12th grade math and reading, which isn't that hard to do, people. I mean, I had to pass a basic math test before I graduated. A basic math test. I mean, or you had to keep taking it over and over until you passed it. You just didn't get thrown to the next level. I mean, we're teaching them nothing. We're sending them to the next grade. They're learning nothing. And they're learning nothing all the way through it if they can't even read past 8th grade level or do math past the 8th grade level. I mean, and the people, and a lot of the kids that are passing at 8th grade it's half wrong. I mean, you're talking some of these kids are 6th grade level, except for their street smarts, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about kids getting an education and trying to make the world a better place. You know what I'm saying? So what do we get out of our money? Nothing. What do we get out of sending our kids to public school? Fucking minus nothing. I mean, your kid went in dumber than he was when he got there. That's how I look at public school anymore. He's dumber than he was after he left there. I mean, you could have done better at home teaching him nothing except for cleaning house and all that. I mean, really, they're teaching him nothing. Now, there's a few kids that are just, all kids are different. Some are just self-motivated, and they go through it, and they're smart. It's not all the kids, but it's a lot of kids, especially in the minority neighborhoods. I mean, they want you minorities to be down, down, down forever. Man, the Democrats want to own the black people forever. I mean, they got a hard on for you guys. They don't want to ever see you be normal. I mean, they don't ever want to treat you like you're a normalized race. I think you are. I think highly of the black community. I mean, the black race. I mean, there's studs in every sport. Like I said, Carson, the best heart surgeon in the world. I mean, black people. I mean, the best singers. I mean, they've been part of the mix for a long time now. I don't know what part of that's so hard for everybody to see. The ones that don't make it in the black community are just like the ones that don't make it in the white community. We're just not trying. You're just fucking up. Just like a Mexican and white person. You fuck up, you fuck up. But I think highly of the black race, and I don't think anybody should be fucking disparaging them and not treating them like they're special interest. They'll figure it out. Most of them they're getting there. I mean, like I said, they're running sports. They're studs, man. They're smart. The ones that want to make it. You know, Charles Payne. I mean, come on, man. Fox. I mean, it's not that hard to do, people. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg talks off her high horse, that stupid bitch. I mean, look at how she made it. I used to like her too when she was young. I used to like Whoopi Goldberg. I thought she was an awesome comedian. But I just don't like the disdain that comes off her mouth towards Republicans. I just don't like it. I think it's unbefitting, unbecoming, unprofessional of a woman who all people liked. I mean, it was stupid. Just keep your mouth shut. Why is that so hard to understand? I think the way I think, but I always thought you were a good actor, good actress. I mean, a good comedian. I mean, a better comedian than you were actress. I mean, but now I don't think much of you because I see the disdain that you have on that show every day, every damn day. Joey Bearhart. I mean, all you spiteful, mean women. Who rubbed you wrong, man? It wasn't me. I mean, I don't give three shits about your crap. I mean, but you bring it. I mean, I'm just saying. I used to think a lot of Whoopi Goldberg, but so black race, don't buy into this. They're not teaching your kids nothing either. They definitely don't want your kids to get school choice. They don't want it. I mean, but I will say this to the parents of the world, man. You guys need to knuckle up and nut up. No matter what race you are, you need to fucking. If you're gonna have kids, you raise your kids. Don't abort them. Be a man, be a woman, and think past yourself. Try something that you never thought you could do. If you never wanted to have kids, I mean, I think you'll be surprised if you put 100% effort. I know you'll be happy with having a child and having a family. If you got two people putting in, the time, it is what it is. Kids are great. Life's great. Family vacations are great. Being with your best friend, your spouse, I mean, your lover, your best friend, more than the love of your best friend for life. I mean, it's so hard to find friends as you get older. I mean, everybody's got it in them to have a good life, man. So, I mean, don't let these fucking Democratic Party and these weirdos. Everybody in the Democratic Party is a weird motherfucker anymore. I don't care what color you are, what race you come from. You're all talking weird. And it's up to you people that, I mean, think about it, people, when you're voting for these people, because I just see them putting you down. I'm talking to the Democratic voter, not the party. The party's the way they are. They're crazy. But you voters got it in you to do better in life. I mean, expect more from yourself and try hard. You will get more from yourself. I mean, it's not that hard to do. It's called hard work, dedication. I mean, and loving something besides yourself and your own shit. I mean, it took me a while to figure that out too. I mean, I wasn't perfect. I'm still not perfect. It's a path. It's a path for everybody. But you just don't ever just not try. Democrats want you to stop trying. They want our kids not to excel. Don't try. Don't do this. I mean, let's get the technology out of the schools. Let's get back to real teaching with real teachers that really care about the work and not politics, not sexuality, none of that crazy stuff. Just simple kids being kids, learning in school, having fun, going to parties, cruising town, sock hops. Let's get it. I mean, off the phones, people. Start interacting with each other and have fun. I'm telling you kids right now, if I could take 10 of you kids out there that are on your cell phones all the time, take you back in time to 1982, 83, 84 when I was in school, you'd never get on that cell phone ever again. I had a lot of fun. I hung out with a lot of cool cats, had a lot of hot girlfriends. I mean, having fun with everybody, man. It was a good time. I mean, so that's all I got to say about it. I mean, it's not real no more, and it's showing in our kids' work. It's showing in the respect they're showing the world and for themselves. I mean, they're not showing. It's crazy. But I know this: our schools are failing us, and we're getting nothing for anything. Nothing for the money, for the money you spend, for the money they tax you for schooling all through the whole lives. You get nothing out of it anymore. Your kids are being dumbed out. I mean, it's like you start off in your senior year when you get there and you start going backwards. By the time you graduate, you're like a dumbass little 5-year-old. I mean, don't know shit about the world, don't know nothing about nothing. If the power went out, you wouldn't be able to figure out a mathematical equation of any form, whether it's basic or higher math, to save your ass. You wouldn't even be able to read the letter that says, help me, I'm up in the tower. I mean, come on. Let's get our kids lined up with some good schooling and let's figure it out, people. I mean, it's not, I always say it's not rocket science. It's stop it with all the bullshit. Anyway, I'm going to take another hit real quick here. I might have something else to say. I mean, you got a daughter, you send her to school. She's excelling in sports, excelling in sports, doing really good. Then next thing you know, she gets put in she's going for the championship in swimming, and next thing you look over there and there's some 6'4" dude standing there who thinks he's a girl, and they're letting him compete. As you sit there watching your daughter's dreams fall apart, you're watching your daughter fall apart. Her dreams just fell apart because she just lost the state championship or the college final because you got some dude up there playing a girl when he's not a girl. He's a boy. He's a fucking man. Stop it. That's what you get from school anymore, people. That's what happens to your kids. You send them to school. They're making your kids dumber. They're taking their hopes and dreams away from them, especially if you're female. Stop it. How do any of you Democratic women out there that vote Democratic, how do you even come to terms with that? I mean, that's just a given. You should all be going, no. I mean, how are you not? How can you, even if you're for transgenderism, how can you say it's right? They're still a dude. Plain and simple, you know it. I mean, just cop it up. I mean, it's like the Supreme Court, that justice, that the black lady just got voted in, Jackson, whatever. She can't even define the difference between a man and a woman. You saw it at her confirmation hearing. What's the difference between a man and a woman? Well, what do you mean? What's the difference between a man and a woman? In what context do you? I mean, a pussy, a dick. You get it, girl? I mean, I knew that. I think I was 2 years old when I realized the girl over there didn't have a weenie. I was like, gaga, 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 gaga. I even knew it then. I was like, gaga, gaga. I mean, anyway. But come on. That's what I'm talking about here, man. These people are making your kids stupid. I mean, they got them all weirded out. Calling each other pronouns. I mean, is that the future? Pronouns. What's next? What's after a pronoun? I mean, Alex. I won't get into it, but that show Idiocracy, you got to watch it. I mean, what's next for our kids, man? I mean, oh, it's crazy. You get a knock. You get a letter in the mail. You see something about your kid. You go to school, and it all comes out that they're giving your kid hormones behind your back because they noticed you dressed up like a girl on Halloween one year, and they went over and some adult that you don't even know who's supposed to be teaching them mathematics and stuff goes over there and convinces that little kid that he could be a girl, and we can go behind your parents' back and do that for them. I mean, that's what you get when you send your kids to school nowadays. You send your kids to school and they're unsafe now because you got school shooters coming in and they don't have protection for your kids, or it's an every year thing now. Kids going in and whacking off 5, 6, 10 kids. I mean, no protection. I mean, all that money we give to the government, they give it away to every other country, to migrants, but they can't even keep our schools safe when they do want to keep them open. I mean, when they're teaching them nothing. I mean, think about it, people. Everything I'm saying is factually true, man. I mean, they're teaching our kids nothing. They're dumbing them out. Going behind your back, talking crazy shit to them. I mean, things that back in the day you'd be put in jail for. You just can't go but talk to a kid about their sexuality. Rape and child molestation is not just touching some kid. It's talking to them in a manner that's unbecoming of an adult to somebody else's kid at an age that's unbefitting of an adult. That is what fucking child molestation is. That is what's going on in our schools right now. They're approaching our children, grown-ups, at ages that are unbefitting for them to come up to and talk to them about their sexuality, no matter what they dress up like, no matter if they're looking sad for that day or they're not happy, they're getting bullied. That is not none of their business. If kids are being bullied, you discipline them. You don't go and talk to them, anything except you don't do that. You don't go, well, is there a problem at your house? Do you want to be a boy, little girl? Do you want to be a girl, little boy? I mean, what does that even look like? Think about it, people. Man, the schools are a problem. They're a major problem. We need to clean up these teachers, clean up the school superintendents, get rid of the bureaucracy, and teach our kids the basics again, because they're not even learning that. Besides all the other weird stuff that's happening when you send your kid to school, so school choice is definitely a must. We have to have school choice for everybody. So you get some of these kids, the parents are smart enough, they'll take them to some private schools, some church schools. Anything's better than public. Public schools is not where it's at. I mean, they're going to brainwash, dumb your kid out, put them in danger. I mean, teach them how to not respect our allies and terrorists. I mean, all the way up through college, it's bad. That's all I got to say. I mean, it's bad. I mean, the kind of shit that makes a man. I'm toxic masculinity really makes my head boil. I mean, I just want to stupidity. It's like you just sit around just at awe with it all. So think about your kids. Let's figure out how to get rid of these teachers and these teachers unions that got your kids all whacked out, man. I mean, my kids got out of it right before it got heavy, but so I feel sorry for the kids that are there now. And my kids have problems anyway. I mean, just like all kids do when they're growing up. I mean, much less having all this other stuff thrown at them and not learning nothing at all. I mean, learning nothing. They're learning nothing, people. They got a cell phone there. Without that cell phone, they can't even pass a math test, a basic math test. They can't even read real fast. They're like, dum, dim, dum, dum, dim, blah. I mean, they can't write. They don't know how to cursive write. They can't write in cursive anymore. I mean, I don't know if you see some of these kids writing nowadays. I mean, you can't even understand it. Like, what the fuck is that? It's written in some kind of code that they do. Some kind of code when they're texting on their regular writing. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't text. So I mean, it's like, what does that even mean? What does it even mean, man? Give me a bowl. I'm trying to read this. Give me a hit. Give me a shot. Oh, there it is, man. I think. All right, one more shot. Oh, I got it now. I got it. That's why I'm always buzzed, man. I gotta get buzzed to be able to connect anymore. All right, guys. This is the Scott and the Shot podcast. I'm going to be out here for the night. Have a good evening.